Hi there. Let's create awesome pagination component from scratch. As you can see here, there are two types of pagination components. First one with the next and previous buttons and page numbers, while the second one is a simple button to load more. In the first one, it can work when you have multiple pages and items to render. While the second one, the load more button, works when you want to render something vertically. Let's start with creating our project folder. Now open your command prompt, set path to your folder and create React app using npx create React app and app name. Here I am writing a React pagination component. And it's done creating our app. Change your directory to your app and start React server by typing npm start. Here I am using VS Code as my daily code editor. Let's clean this app.js file. Here I want to keep classes and only change header to div. Create components folder in src and create our component file called pagination-component.js and style.css file to put its CSS styling. Here I am using React snippets to create a functional component. Remove this div here so that it converts into a React fragments. Just write pagination here and import our component into the app file. It is working. Let's give it a title. Write a to-do list in h1 tag. And it's working. For this tutorial, I'm going to use this JSON placeholder API, which is free and it will give us a list of to-dos. Let's just copy this fetch method code. We need state to save this data, and for that, create one state called data using useState. Paste code that we have copied inside of the use effect. As you can see in the console, it is returning list of to-dos. It is an array of objects and returning around 200 different to-dos. remove console.log and instead of that set data state with this JSON data. Let's create a small component to render this to-do list. We will pass data and map that data to print to-do title using a li and ul tag. Call this render data component here just below the h1 tag and pass data state which contains list of to-dos. And as you can see, it is displaying the whole list. Now let's start building our pagination component. For that, first we need two states. First is a current page to store current page number and initialize it as 1. Second state is to store how much items you want to display per single page. We want to display first 5 items. Create one array called pages. This array will contain total numbers of pages like 1, 2, 3. Fill this array using a loop where I equal to 1 to I equal to data.length by items per page and push I into the pages array. Now this data.length is the total number of to-dos, and by dividing it with the items we want to display in a single page, we will get the total number of pages we need. Let's create a small component to render the page numbers. Here I will map pages array, which will provide us a number for each page, and then we will display these numbers in list manner. Don't forget to add ID inside the li tag. Render this component just before the render data, and it's working. We need some styling for these numbers. Render this component inside the UL and set its class name to page numbers. Let's write some CSS in style.css file. Don't forget to import this style.css file in our component. Now it looks good. We need information regarding how many items we want in a single page, and for that, let's calculate index of last item in each page, which will be the multiplication of current page and items per page. Suppose you want to display 10 items per page, and on the third page there will be a 30th item, so its index will be a third page into 10 items per page. Index of a first item will be the index of last item minus items per page. Now slice data for each page using index of a first and last items. As you can see, it's working. Let's add handle click method for each number of page. In this handle click method, we will set current page with the ID of a particular target, which is a page number. And it's working. Whenever I click on any page number, items are changing. Let's add active class for active page number. If current page is equals to a page number, then add active class, else do nothing. Add styling for active class. Now it looks good. Let's show limited page numbers instead of list of each page numbers. And to do that, we need to define 3 more states. First one is a page number limit, which means how many page numbers we want to display. Here I am keeping it to 5. Next, two states are max page number limit and minimum page number limit, which will be 5 and 0 initially. Now let's put a condition in a render page numbers. If page number is less than max page number limit plus 1 and page number is greater than minimum page number limit, then return this number, else return nothing. As you can see here, we have kept page number limit to 5, so it's only displaying 5 page numbers. Let's add next and previous buttons. Add some style for these buttons. Now we need two on-click methods for both of these buttons. For the next button, let's write handle next button method. Increment current page state to +1. Whenever someone clicks it, he goes to next page. We also need to set max and minimum page number limit here whenever user cross max page number limit. So put a condition and set both of these values. As you can see here, now it's working great. Let's create a method for previous button. Copy the next button method. And only change in this method will be in the if condition that current page -1 modulo page number limit is equals 0, then set states. Here this condition means that if you are going back from page 6, then 6 minus 1 equals 5, and 5 modulo page number limit, which we have already set to a 5, which equals to 0. So then it will change max and minimum states and we can go back to previous pages. It's working fine. Let's add those triple dots so that user can understand that there are more pages available. Create a page increment button and render it based on a condition. If length of pages is more than a max page number limit, then render it, else do nothing. Here, help is the Unicode to display triple dots in pages. Do same for the decrement button. Render both of these before and after the render page numbers. As you can see, both buttons are displayed. There is an issue here that if you are at a first page and click on a previous button, then it will display 0 page numbers and which will break the UI. So for that, we have to disable previous and next buttons on specific conditions. Disable previous button when current page is equals to the first page, which is 0th index of pages array. For next button, current page should equal to last page, which will be the last index of pages array. Now it's working good. Let's create the second type of pagination. Create one button with the class loadMore and add some styling to it. Create a handle loadMore method. Now in this method, increase items per page state to +5. As you can see, it's working. I think I forgot to change condition in this decrement button. That's why it is displayed before the first page. Sorry for that. Let's change it. And it's done. Our pagination component is completed and working great. That's it for this video. Give a thumbs up and subscribe because more awesome stuff is coming. Thanks for watching.
I can't remember who I am.